Stop pretending to train for a fight and start training for the skills for a fight. Let's get started. Hey guys, thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the bell so you can be notified every time we get a new video. So first thing I have to say is, if you go through YouTube, across the board, there's all kinds of stuff that you see from, these awesome, strategy and techniques where you will see, for instance, a Kali guy or Silat guy or Wing Chun guy or down the line, it could be American Kempo guy doing the real fancy striking techniques and all this stuff. All these different arts are beautiful, okay? And the techniques are very, very applicable. But the training methods, there must be a bridge from the patterns, these fancy patterns, to application and actual live motion. Somebody's trying to punch your head off. That bridge must be made, okay? And I find, and a lot of times I see people just doing all the fancy stuff, okay, but not breaking those things down. I talked about this a little bit in my Panatukan video, okay? But you must break down those things. So the first aspect I would say to anybody that is training in one of those arts or training in an art where a fighting system that is a person is one punch and there's all these crazy things that are being done behind it before the person, or you're not doing a lot of sparring, you're not doing a lot of contesting of those, the first step is to break those patterns down into their pieces. Those pieces they have validity, okay? But the issue is that they're so used to demonstrating the beauty of the art, which is awesome, and I love that aspect to it. I love all of that. But in a real fight, it's pure chaos. And so you have to break those things down into pieces. And so when you're doing your training, I want you to think about right now the training methodology, okay? We have to change as a martial arts world. We have to train, and this is why a lot of people, when you look at traditional martial artists, this is why a lot of MMA fighters and boxers and these different people, they look down on these martial arts because they're not seeing the applicability being brought out in the actual fight. You don't see a lot of the techniques being used. You just start seeing it look like any kind of other chaotic series of mess. I've talked about in other videos about broadening and expanding your horizons instead of being just stuck in one style or system. I want you to take what you have and start to apply it for live motion, for somebody really trying to knock your head off, okay? That's the first step. The first step when you're training with your partner and you're starting to work on, let's say you do Silat, okay? Let's say you do Kali or Wing Chun or any of these other, even karate, different styles of karate, is your intensity. The intensity of it. Having somebody let's say you're a black belt in some system or you're a high-ranking position in some system, and you just have somebody swing at you. Have them glove up, and just swing at you. See how well you do. How well are you able to bring out that art? How well are you able to use those techniques in live motion? It's truly just a way to make yourself be accountable. And if you're not doing too well, it means you need to change your training method. And the way you train your training method it's not that those systems have bad techniques. It's that those systems don't have, somewhere along the way, they've lost their training methodology. They've lost their training method where you're somebody just chaotically throwing attacks at you. How do I start to isolate each piece of that beautiful system? Okay, like for instance, in that video, we did goon teams. We just did goon teams. We just do one thing, okay, over and over and over again, to the point where they're trying to knock your head off, and you're using that strategy, you're using that technique, okay, in it. And so that's one thing. I also do what they call pressure testing, where two people go, let's say it's a knife technique, or let's say it's a clinch position in silat or in whatever, and you get into that position and you have the other person push you and try to push against what you're trying to do, trying to contest and go against what you're doing. That's the only way you're going to be able to. The art may have shown you this is how you do it, but what happens if you do this? You're going to have to start to look at, if you're in a position and you have a knife and you're in a hand position, for instance, and you're trying to find that disarm. Notice I said find the disarm, okay? Because the training methodology of it is I'm battling constantly with this person. How do I deal with that situation? And so what happens is instead of the martial art being, this is the martial art, and I have to formulate to this martial art, how about I, as the person, take essence of that art, bring it to me, and see how I can test and battle test it to see what works for me. And what's going to happen is you're going to start to see all the other things that you're going to come in contact with. You're going to, instead of going, oh, I can only do that system, that's it. Instead, you're going to start to create your own way of fighting for you personally, okay? And find things when you're going against, you're going, man, this is actually working good for me. This thing right here is working good for me. And so by doing that, that's going to help you, okay? That's going to help you to broaden your horizons, broaden your skill level, okay? The other thing is stop just training with people that are around you. Bring somebody in. Go train with somebody that's different than you, that trains in wrestling or boxing or jiu-jitsu or whatever style, any other fighting art that's out there. Train with those different people, okay? And see how they respond to your attacks. See how they do it. And get to the point where if you're comfortable, if they're just one of your training partners, you start to get comfortable with them, and they start to teach you, and you start to teach them new things by, in the action of combat, when you're sparring and contesting things, you're going to find out how and why and what to do and what feels right, okay? Now, obviously, everybody is a little different. You can go all the way down the road and go, oh, well, everybody's, every wrestler moves different. But what I'm trying to explain to you is you need to broaden your horizons so that you advance your skill level and take what you find you're attracted to. Okay, I like doing this, okay? How do I take what's out of that and make it mine? You've got to make things yours. And so you've got to spar, you've got to contest, you've got to make all these things come together. And the only way to do that is through live motion, through battle testing, through a person contesting those techniques, okay? Because guess what? In a street fight, it's pure chaos. They're not going to be a good training partner. They're not going to give you what you want. They're going to give you what works for them, and you're going to have to figure out how to adapt to it.
Good job.
So with this talk, I hope this comes to you. If you have any questions, comment down below. I hope that you start to think about this. Start writing down what it is that you have issues with. Start training with different people. Start broadening your horizons. Don't get a cult mentality, oh, I gotta stay within this group. No. Find people that are like-minded but train in different arts and see how well you do. And if there's things, and instead of you spar with somebody and they kick your ass, instead of going, I'm not going to be around that person again. This, and you make all these excuses. Instead of making excuses, go, wait a minute, let's bring this back in. Let's video it too. You should video it and look at it and go, what did I do wrong here? And how do I fix this? And what tools do I need to bring in to fix that problem? Instead of rejecting it because it hurts your ego. Martial arts is about developing the mind, body, and spirit. You must be able to overcome and deal with your ego and be able to go, you know what? I sucked at that and I need to fix that. Okay? That is super important. I've done it plenty of times. I will admit openly what I suck at. And I rave on what I suck at. Love the suck. I always say this. Love the suck. Except when you suck at something and go, I'm not going to let that happen again. And you work towards it. Figure out what's going to work for you and fix that thing. Stop getting stuck in these fancy patterns. Okay? Stop getting stuck in these patterns. They're great to learn at the beginning. Okay? When you're learning the art. But at some point, you've got to break free from fixed patterns and start to just spar and train hard. That needs to happen for you to be able to grow as a fighter, okay? As a martial artist, that's how you grow. So I hope this comes to you in a positive manner. Hope you guys can take something away from this. Have a wonderful day, and I hope I see you next time. Hey guys, thank you for checking out our video today. Comment down below if you have any questions about what we covered today. Go to our website, pinnaclecombatarts.com. There you can find out more about what I do and the classes that I provide. Thank you guys so much for your support and have a great day.